Hey, what's going on there, folks? Earthmaster here, checking in real quick, doing an update video on a little bit interesting earthquake activity in Southern California, a 3.2 striking northwest of the Ridgecrest area. That's going to be this seismograph station right there, picking up the 3.2. That station is called China Lake, which is kind of just southeast of the Ridgecrest area, or right around the vicinity anyway. Either way, this earthquake taking place outside of the normal or the aftershock activity area where we've been seeing for the past few months, ever since the July 4th and July 5th earthquake activity, large earthquake activity in Southern California. So now we're seeing this little interesting earthquake activity and migration towards the north of that Ridgecrest area. You can see here on this USGS map of one day all magnitudes there, the earthquakes which are been taking place in this ruptured fault section near Ridgecrest. Of course, that's been ongoing for quite some time, but the only thing worrisome right now is the forward or the northward migration of movement kind of towards the Owens Valley fault zone, which is the 1872 rupture when an 8.1 8.2 magnitude, I believe. Let me see the exact magnitude happened there. Yeah, March 26, 1872. Recent geologist estimate puts the power of the quake as somewhere between 8.2 and 8.6 on the magnitude there. And that was on the Owens Fault, which is, like I said, just kind of where this activity is kind of heading towards right now. This 3.2 is much closer to the Owens Fault section here, Owens Valley Fault Zone, than we have seen in the past. And this is kind of a worrisome event here, as we're starting to see like I said, a progression towards this area, and that's not good, especially with this 3.2 that has just taken place here within the last few minutes. There was some smaller earthquake activity migrating up here over the morning, and like I said, we're just starting to see this really creep really close to this area of the Owens Valley Fault Zone, like I said, where a major earthquake struck back in 1872. So we know that this fault system is very capable of producing a significant sized quake. Let's see here. So it's been building up for a little while, right? And of course, who knows how much pressure has been building up over time. But needless to say, right around the plate boundary, right, of the Pacific and North American plate, you're going to see some increased pressures there over time. Whether it's 100 years, 20 years, or 500 years, there's definitely going to be some pressure involved there and build up of pressure. 2.4 looks like an aftershock just struck in that area following that 3.2. I'm sure that showed up possibly on the seismograph stations as well, which I have down here on the bottom. Like I said, China Lake Station is a little ways. It's more closer to the Ridgecrest area than this 3.2 that just struck. But I'm kind of waiting for this to scroll up on the screen right now, and I'll show you guys a little earthquake coming into Yellowstone right now. Not for sure how big, but the China Lake Station down here, right here, come on, 3.2 showing up on this seismograph station, and then that little aftershock showing up there as well. But that China Lake Station, like I said, is a little bit further away from the region of this 3.2, but nonetheless still showing up on the seismograph stations there. So it looks like a 2.4 now instead of a 2.2. Sorry. So anyway, folks, just be on guard today as we're starting to see a migration towards that Owens Valley fault system. If you want to do a little bit of quick research on it, some interesting articles on it about the Owens Valley 1872 fault line in that area back in March 26, 1872. Yeah, it happened after midnight, around 2:30 a.m. in the morning, and found most people in bed in their adobe homes asleep. The recent geologists, yeah, like I said, 8.2 to 8.6 on the magnitude there in that region. Just a heads up, no prediction of an earthquake, but like I said, the activity is increasing outside of the ridge crest area right now, and that's what's got me concerned here. I'm going to show a little bit different map here. It's kind of a little bit more viewer friendly, and the more defined earthquakes here in this map here. Let's see, all that's in here. This is kind of a zoomed in view of the activity there in the ridgecrest area, with the 3.2 and the 2.4 shown up there outside of the area once again, roughly about 25 miles northwest of the aftershock activity that we've been seeing over the, like I said, since July 4th and July 5th. So migration is not necessarily a good thing when it comes to earthquakes, and especially along a fault system such as the Owens Valley fault line, which, like I mentioned, for the fourth time is capable of producing a large earthquake. So just a heads up, no prediction. Be safe, be on guard. Of course, that should always be a top priority in Southern California and the West Coast for that matter. So I will be on guard here watching this thing, and keeping an eye on the seismograph stations here, and I will do an update video if it requires it. I do want to see where the, let's see here. Okay, that's just a little spike of a microquake right there in the Yellowstone National Park region. So keep an eye on that too. Anyway, folks, have a good day. We will be here off and on the live stream, so we'll chat you guys in.